Well, hello there. Here's Sarge, and we'd both like to welcome you to another installment of Conversational Shaving. Isn't that right, Sarge? Tom met Jefferson, I'm my own Edison in the world of dreams. I'm that social thing who survives just to sing the line. I'm the king of sleep. I just wanted to dream. Me too. Well, hello there. How are you? Today my razor is going to be this twist-to-open, non-adjustable pearl razor. It's an open comb, but the tines in the comb are rather flat. They're not too intrusive there. And in there, on its second use, is going to be one of these Statum blades right there. And I've already lathered up my brush. It's going to be this restored Rubberset brush with a horsehair knot. And I'm going to be using the Lakewood Smokeberry tallow shaving soap right there. And let me go ahead and run a little hot water here, because I want to dip just the tips of this in some hot water. And that should be plenty right there. I just want to dip the very tippy tips of this in there, get this lather a little wet again. I'll start trying to get a lather in my face. And I hope you're all doing well out there. Sorry the video is a day or two late here. I was pretty wiped out after Thanksgiving. Haven't used this horsehair brush in a while. And I usually use it with creams in a tube, so I don't know that I'm going to get the best lather here. I'm going to try. I can see at some point I'm going to have to go back to the tub of soap, because I'm hardly getting a lather here. Excuse me just a moment. I'm going to pop out and pop back in, hopefully a little bit better lathered. Well, that's a little bit better. I had to go back to the back to the tub straight away, but let me see what I can do here. Pass number one with the grain. Second use on the Statum blade. These blades came with one of the razors I bought. I forget which one. One of the new razors I bought. I do like this razor a lot, this one here, which I've had for several years now. At least 3, maybe 4 years, this pearl open comb twist-to-open razor. It's the only twist-to-open razor I have that is an open comb razor. And I like those nice flat tines on there. They give me the efficiency of an open comb razor, but I have the comfort of a straight bar razor. Excuse me. That actually rinsed pretty quickly, but I had to rinse some off the handle too. I got some suds, some lather on the handle. This brush I might go back to using only with creams in a tube, because it's kind of a floppy knot on there. Comfortable, but floppy. Okay, going to rinse again. Okay, and now to the neck area. I don't remember the soap dissipating like it's been doing before. I think it has something to do with the brush and me not getting as copious of a lather on the brush as I would have liked to have done. Yes, sir. The shaving itself is going pretty smoothly and relatively quickly if I don't overdo it. I do tend to overdo it sometimes. Shaving in one direction until hopefully I hear no more audio feedback. And only about, oh, I don't know, a day and a half, 2 days worth of growth today. That's pass 1 complete. I'll be right back to go across the grain for pass number 2. Well, let's go across the grain now, pass number 2. I do recommend this razor. I don't think it's the best razor I've ever used, and it's far from the worst, but it has a lot to recommend it, in my opinion. As always, your mileage may vary. But anyway, it works well for me, I believe. At least I don't remember any major problems with this razor. And the blade, just from past memory and from using it so far in this shave, I believe I would give it a B, possibly even a B+. Okay, rinse time. Often, due to time constraints, I will cut out the rinsing, especially if I'm rinsing out a lot of goo from the razor, and if it's taking me longer to rinse than I think it should. I'll flip the razor over and get up here. As a general rule, I wait to rinse until I've used both sides of the blade on a double edge blade and razor. It occurred to me one day, 5 or 6 or maybe 7 years ago, it occurred to me to wait to rinse and use both sides of the razor of the blade first, because I guess that's why they call it double edge shaving. Of course, you don't have to do it that way, but I figured that way I know I'm getting equal use out of both sides of the blade. And possibly, maybe not, but possibly I'm saving a little bit of water by doing it that way. That's not necessarily true, because you might have to rinse using twice as much water once both sides of the blade or the razor are in need of rinsing. I don't know. I guess it depends on how fast of a rinser you are. Sometimes I get OCD or whatever, or get too much into the zen of the moment and just stand there rinsing for not a full minute or necessarily even 30 seconds, but longer than it should go when you're rinsing a blade, especially if I have reason to, especially if I have a very pasty lather and the blade gap in the razor is getting particularly gummed up or clogged. The lathers I'm getting from this soap using this brush tend to be thin. That's probably just user error. I find that there are many different situations that cause me to lather differently. Even just changing brushes from one brush to the other, it seems like there can be major differences in how long I have to lather and so forth. And I'll be right back for pass number 3, against the grain. Okay, let's go against the grain, shall we? I'll start on my neck for this pass. I bet if I had used my Sterling collapsible shaving bowl and this same long-handled brush, I bet I could have gotten a more uniform and maybe a thicker lather. Of course, I usually only use synthetic brushes in that, because it's got those little nodules in it that some people were asking me if those wouldn't take the hairs off a brush over time, but they don't seem to do that with the synthetics. I don't know what they do with this horsehair brush, but anyway. It is what it is, and it's not an unpleasant shave so far. I'm going to rinse the razor. Anyway. Depending on how I do on time here will have a lot to do with whether I cut out the rinsing portions of the video to save just a few seconds here and there. Sometimes I'll get to talking more than I'm shaving, and that'll really put me closer over the 30-minute mark. I don't like these things to go over half an hour, because I'm just sure that one of these days they'll be shown on network TV, if only to show what a fool I am. Maybe on America's Stupidest Home Videos. Actually, there should be on the real show, if it's still around. I don't know if they still make it. It used to be on ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. Oh, excuse me. There used to be America's Funniest Home Videos, and I would think these shaving videos, anybody's shaving videos, would be so bizarre to the ordinary, to the uninitiated person, that they could be counted among America's funniest home videos. Right up there with somebody accidentally tripping and falling down some stairs or into a pool or whatever. There's probably a version of that in the UK, isn't there? The UK's Funniest Home Videos or something like that. I think that show started way back in the days when people were still using Super 8 film cameras or the very early videotape cameras to film or to record their home video. You've heard of Paul H. Films. Well, I should probably name my channel Don F's Tapes, recorded live before a studio audience. One of these days I'm going to get a studio audience in here. I won't be able to fit very many people. Maybe just a couple of chairs in the tub there. And look what I've done to myself. It doesn't hurt. but I did get bleeder over here. Well, it's what it is, it's really just a weeper, but the blood's kind of stuck there. There it is. You know what this is from? Well, I can't speak for this one. There's another one there. I think I reopened one from the other day, from when off camera, I did a straight razor shave, and I got a tiny little cut up there. Anyway, I'm going to re-lather for pickups, and I may wash some of this off before then. Well, Sarge, what time is it, buddy? It's pickup time. Check it out. See the magical clock? Yeah. You're excited, aren't you? You always like pickup time. Yeah? Aw, I hear you purring. Aw, okay. I'll put you down and let you back out, because I don't think you like being in here with the door shut. At least I'll leave it open a little ways so you can get out if you want to. And, well, you know what? I did lather my neck, but just in the brief time it took to pick up Sarge and bring him in here, the lather started dissipating. And I don't think that's the soap's fault. I think it's user error, and part of it's this brush. It's not a bad brush, but I'm going to, like I said, I'm probably going to go back to using it only for creams in a tube and not for tubs of soap. Okay, well, hopefully I can get that brush to stand on end there while I finish up here, do the touch-ups or the pickups. Here we go. Well, I sure got myself above my upper lip when I was shaving against the grain, which I probably shouldn't have done with this blade and this razor, although the blade is not horribly sharp and the razor is not terribly aggressive. That happens sometimes, but I had had less of it lately. Just when I think I've got something licked, so to speak, the problems arise again. Like I hadn't used this razor in a minute and hadn't used this soap in, oh, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe more. Which I'm surprised I don't use this soap more often, because it's a very lovely smelling soap, very lovely scent. It's like, I don't know, blueberries and smoke scent, smokeberry, if there is such a thing as, I don't think there is. Let me rinse this and just go over my neck one more time. Okay. Let's see. You may not be able to hear it, but I was still hearing some audio feedback, and I wanted to remedy that. And I might be overdoing it still. Very good. You know, I would have to call this BBS. It really is nice. Only bad thing is I got a lot of weepers up here. I'm going to rinse my face, the razor, the brush, and I'll be right back with Mr. Towel, and I'll try to get this to close up, or at least, well, I'll try to do something about these weepers up here. Well, instead of Mr. Towel today, let's go with his cousin, the Royal Towel. Yeah, how do you do? Yeah, the Royal Towel here, which is actually, I forget the actual name of the towel. Might be the Royal Scotsman or something like that. I don't know. But I think it was HC&C sent me this when I ordered some soap from them and some matching aftershave. Boy, that towel sure feels comfortable against the skin. Nothing against Mr. Towel, but I might buy more versions of his cousin. There's a whole royal family of them. I guess they all look the same, but Prince Tal, hello, peasant people, hello. He must be friends with Paul H's friend, the guy, you know, the guy that has his own estate or whatever, Lord, what's his name? Yeah. And he's much more verbose than Mr. Tal, because he's got a lot to brag about. That's the royal Tal there. Yeah, thank you very much. Somebody said, you say something, Sarge? Anyway, okay, there's that. I'm going to start a brief recap and put the finishing touches on the shave. My razor has been this twist to open, non-adjustable pearl razor. It's an open comb, but the tines are very flat there, which I find makes the shave more comfortable. I think I still have some possibly little weepers coming out there, but I'm going to have to get out the styptic pencil or something after I finish here. Anyway, there is a little bit of overhang, quite a bit when you start using the razor. You can't see it as much there, but it's there. So beware of this overhang. Otherwise, a very comfortable to use razor. And in there on its second use was one of these Statum blades. Oh, Sarge finally left. I can shut the door. Yeah, he was down here meowing at me. He wanted something, but I've got to finish the video here. And before I got on camera, I should note that I had prepped my face with Village Barber shaving oil. I almost always do that, but I think I forgot to mention it this time. My brush has been this restored Rubberset brush with a horsehair knot. Wasn't very good for this shave, but I've had good luck with it in other shaves, so it's batting at least 500, probably more than that. And my soap has been this Lakewood Smokeberry soap with a lovely scent and a scent strength of about 4 out of 10. That's not a value judgment, that's just about how strong I find the scent, and the scent is lovely. Okay, and let's see, if I've covered everything, and I hope I have, I'm going to reach over here for the Thayers Lavender Witch Hazel. Non-alcoholic. Sort of the O'Douls of the Witch Hazel world, I suppose. O'Douls, in case you were wondering, is a non-alcoholic beer. It's sold here in the States. I don't know if it's sold elsewhere, probably. Or at least other places have their own version of O'Douls and whatever other non-alcoholic beers are sold here in the States without having to be imported. Okay, that's feeling really nice, and a very, very light, pleasant lavender scent to that. The Thayers Lavender Witch Hazel. Now I'm going to reach over here. We've got Smokeberry, Lilac, and now, Smokeberry, Lavender, and now let's have some Lilac. The Stephan Lilac Aftershave Cologne. And it says it's for face and body, but I think I'll just put it on my face. I don't think I'll bathe in this stuff. Although you could, apparently. Apparently you could add it to your bath water. Well, there's some appreciable sting there, because I'm sure this stuff has alcohol in it. Feels good though, and it smells wonderful. And you'll find this in some of your old school and your better contemporary barber shops, the Stephan Lilac Aftershave Cologne. I'm going to wipe my hands off and Prince towel here because I'm going to reach over here for the final thing, the Nivea Men Original Post-Shave Balm. So get some of that. And a little bit of this goes a long way. Whoa. See that little bit? That's plenty right there. And maybe the first time that I got the right amount of this in my hands without overdoing it when I pour it. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely. I'm telling you. I don't think I put any of my witch hazel up here by my eyes and on my forehead like I usually do, but that's okay. Because it always takes me so long just to make sure it's not going to get in my eyes proper. And that's it. I'm done. Thank you for joining me on behalf of myself, Sarge the cat, Prince Towel, and underneath him, Mr. Towel, back up in there. We wish you all a great week ahead, and just peace and everything good to you, always.